Hey, yo, check this out. Let me play this for y'all real quick. How to you're my ladies and I can. Song I wrote years ago. Check it out. With no one but me, baby. No doubt. I'm a poker player, pull my foul. Have feelings for her who's gay, but she ended now. A suited 10 Jack Queen, the hit the fly. I raised and she be raised to get the pie. I'm like, why is she feeling me? I asked my man who helped me decipher what she has in her hand. Yo, I'm the one with the nuts, and I can't fail the way she act around this girl. We call that a tell. She tried to bluff with pocket queen by switching the facts. I had the East King suited and crippled the stack. See, my man is my ace, and I'm the king. You supposed to be my wife, but your wife is the queen. Now she until dog, you right. I won the prize, and even though I won the hand, it made me realize that it just ain't in the cards for me and you. Cause you'll never find a queen same suited as you. I'm calling, I'll do all my, you're my ladies, and I can't let you be with no one but me, baby. Now, welcome back for another one, man. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You ain't got to guess who it is. You already know. It's Guess Who the Rapper, a.k.a. Guess Who the Illuminator, man. Back again, here to illuminate your brain with some of this incredible and glorious game once again, man. And before we get started, as usual, you know, I want y'all, you know, if you like yourself today, hit that like button. You like someone else, hit that share button. Hey, but if you really love yourself, man, you want to hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be certified to be notified, you know what I mean, hit that notification button by hitting that bell button. You know what I mean? So you can get these new powerful videos when they drop, right? So, I want to talk about something today, man. And this is going to be a part, you know, I don't know if I'm going to call it, you know, part of a series or something like that. But but it's still Illuminated style, you dig? And you know, I don't have nothing written down like that, you know, like I did with my other videos, but I'm just gonna come up here and express something that you know, I've experienced just today. You know, this is fresh off the press. So before I get started, you know, my condolences, blessings, and prayers for the family of my girl Amber Nelson, who lost a grandmother. Blessings and peace to my the loss of my cousin. His life was lost. My cousin China Davis, you know what I mean? R.I.P. to him, and blessings to our family as we go through that loss. And you know, my girl Amber's grandmother is passed, and they're going through you know, the funeral service and all of that. So I wanted to make sure I get that out the way. But at the same time, let's get back to what I would like to talk about, which is, you know, something I just experienced today. And, you know, over the past 48 hours. And this, I'm going to title it, this is what we would call Illuminator Izm. You know what I'm saying? This Illuminator Izm, man. And this is a blast from the past. This is a situation dealing with a person that you've met in the past, and they just have impact on your life no matter what, no matter how long you have seen them, the distance in between y'all still have you still have a connection to this person because of a close encounter that you may have had with them in times past. And to see them now that they're happy, smiling, and they just bring back so many good memories of the fun times that we had. back in the day, man. It just was so beautiful, man. It was a beautiful experience, man. And you know, I won't bring up her name or nothing like that, but I will, you know, go around the backstory on that song that I just was playing for y'all, man. I might even spit it. My voice, you know, sung me right. But now, this was probably back in 2004. It was 2004. 2004, man. That's like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And look, and we still looking good. 20 years ago, we still look young, still fly, young, active, and attractive out here. You did? You know what I mean? It's the Illuminator Izm. But it was about 2004, and I met this girl, you know what I'm saying, at this church, you know what I mean? We was going to, you know, church, and you know, I just seen her. She just had a certain vibe about her. She had a verse like a swag, like she was feminine, but she, you know, she was like, you know, the girl that plays sports and stuff like that type of girl, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, this chick is cool, you know what I mean? So I think I approached her or whatever, and we started talking. We started kicking it and chilling and having fun, man. And she, you know, come to find out, you know, she rapped like I did, you know what I'm saying? And she was into, you know, sports and different topics. We had a lot in common, man, you know what I'm saying? And I was just coming out of a divorce, you know what I mean? Very painful situation. And but she was like a breath of fresh air, man. It was like, wow, you know, she was cool. She was pretty to me, you know what I mean? Like I like him, you know what I mean? And she was just, you know, a breath of fresh air at that time, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I was like, oh, she's dope and stuff like that. So, and she used to take me around, you know, she was a rapper, but she was taking me like a circle, you know what I mean? Like Christian rappers and different circles and stuff like that. So I was meeting different underground Christian rappers, and, you know, she was exposing me to all these different events that she, you know, I think she was being booked for them at that time. And, you know, she was dealing with a producer, you know what I'm saying? And he would, you know, he was like a producer or / manager and stuff like that. And he was putting her out there, and they had their song, and she had a beautiful song at that time. You know what I mean? What was the name of that song? Sky's the Limit, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, this is dope, you know what I mean? And so we got cool, you know what I mean? Cool. And, you know, one day I just felt like, back in church at that time, you would get these feelings like a lot of us was going through this, like this is your potential wife or your potential husband and stuff like that. So that whole spirit was going around at that time. And of course, I thought like she was like supposed to be my girl, you know what I'm saying? Or my wife at that time, or, you know what I mean, somebody that I had to, that I was supposed to be with. And I kind of was like, well, if that's true, you know, let me lay back. If this is, you know what I mean, whatever it's supposed to be, God, you'll do it. Let me not manipulate the situation. Let me not have anything to do with it. So I just fell back, you know what I'm saying? And then, then I meet, you know, my other partner, you know what I'm saying? My homeboy, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say their names, but, you know, my homeboy, you know what I mean? I thought he was fun too, you know what I mean? He was fun. And I meet my man, and we became a bonded like brothers, like real brothers. He was like the little brother. He was like my little older brother, because he was very wise, very smart. His personality was very large. He had a huge personality. And, so, you know, we became like, he was like my little big brother. I was like, man, I love him even to this day, you know what I mean? And he had a girl, you know what I mean? Beautiful, you know, she was petite girl. She was beautiful. So, I met them, you know what I'm saying? And by me meeting them, I clicked up with them and him and his girl. And then I introduced the girl that I met at church to my homeboy and his girl, you know what I'm saying? And so we all became like a group. And then outside it was me, the girl, and then him and his girl. So it was the four of us. But the difference between this is that him and his girl was actually romantically involved, and me and her wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And though I wanted it to be, and I felt like I got the premonition that she belonged to me. And but we used to have some good times, man. Like, you know what I mean? I remember when, through my divorce, I had the house, man, I had got one of the houses because we had properties. And, I still was in possession of the house and didn't even really know it because I was so emotionally tied to the loss, you know what I mean? But once it dawned on me that I was like, oh, this is mine still. I could move in there. So I moved in there. We found some old people that was paying the rent. And we be up in there partying, laughing, and playing cards. And, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, she'll remember this. I used to be like, we used to be playing cards. If they take too long to pick a card, I'll be like, pick up. Like, the cable guy. And she, my man's girl used to laugh all the time, right? When I would do that, right? And but after a while, man, I was like, man, I was just infatuated with her, man. I was infatuated with her, man, because I really believe that what I heard, that she was supposed to be with me, you know what I mean? My wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We both rapped. We both loved that. We both rapped. We loved music. We even thought the same. We spoke the same. But she did tell me that she wasn't attracted to me. You know what I mean? She told me that. But I ain't pay that no mind. I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? Because I was used to getting what I wanted, you know what I mean? I ain't care nothing about that because I've been through that before where a girl didn't find me attractive at first, but if I keep spitting that Izm at it, boy, it was, you know what I mean? It was going to go down, you know what I'm saying? And so I didn't pay it that much attention, but it kind of bothered me because I couldn't utter how I felt due to the fact that I felt like I was supposed to be quiet and let God do it, you know what I mean? And we get different revelations on that, and all kind of stuff was going on in the church. So, but so I became infatuated with her, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just real happy, like, when we would hang out, you know what I'm saying? And then I met my man, Eddie. And Eddie had different properties from me. So he had a property over there in Decatur, Georgia, right? This is all in Atlanta. This all in Lithonia, east side, baby. You know what I'm saying? East side of Atlanta, dude. Oh, it was just awesome, dude. And, I just had great times with them, man. And then our circle, which was the four of us, got expanded to my man, Elroy, Ken. I'll say their names, Elroy, Ken, Tay. I had met Tay before, all of them. I met her years ago, but Tay was part of it. My man Itnam at the time, you know what I'm saying? The one I told y'all about who was called Manifesto, he was already down with me, you know what I'm saying? Then Ayana, I met a lot of people through my man, Willis, you know what I mean? He won't mind, Willis won't mind. So, I met him through, I met Ayana through my man Will. And then we met Femi and all kind of people, you know what I mean? Miss Beverly, Robert, Tanitra. It was like my community was growing, you know what I mean? KT. So it was growing, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we came like a powerful little group, you know? But me and girl, we was, you know, like forefront. So, you know, when I would be hanging with AD and Swift and them, and we be doing projects, I did a song called Love Conspiracy. And then, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna redo it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna hear that one. I'm gonna redo it. Try to get it as close as it was back then. And I remember, let's just call it A, letter A. Letter A was like, she was dope. She loved music too. And she loved that song that I had, you know what I mean? Cause, you know, I had that MBNY swag, boy, it was flawless, baby, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I remember she had a friend named Nancy. Nancy was dope. She was a pretty beautiful girl, you know what I mean? And she's just like, gee, yo, I love your style, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, you know, they feeling the music, my music. So, you know, and then she would take me to like Ethiopian restaurants, and I would see them doing the dance with their neck and all that. And we was doing that 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Chilling, going to different places. We just was doing a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, so I'm still in possession of these feelings for her, man. And I remember, I think it was her birthday or something, man. And I wanted to do something nice for her. And mind you, she let me know she wasn't attracted to me, but yet that we still hung together and all that stuff. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't give a damn. But anyway, it was her birthday, I think, one time. And I just got the idea to do something nice for her. And I went to one of them crafts places, like where you buy arts and craft place. I forget, it was Mike's or Michael's or something like that in Georgia, in Atlanta, where you could buy arts and crafts. And I bought, I think it was popsicle sticks material or something like that. But long story short on that, I made like a boat thing out of the letters of her name. I was like, man, I didn't even know I never did nothing in arts and craft in my life. But I am an artist. So I was like, yo, I just structured it. I just saw it in my head. Yo, it's true. What you see in your head, you can hold in your hands, man. I saw it in my head. Out of nothing, I created it and made, you know, letter A, a boat-like thing out of the letters of her name. I was going overboard, bro. I was like, yo, I think this is a get me in good with her now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No. And I gave it to her, you know what I mean? She appreciated it, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, she knew where it was coming from. But anyway, so, you know, like I was telling you, my little brother had a girl. They were kind of dealing with, you know, the sensuality and sexuality and their preference at that time. I didn't know exactly, but once they revealed it to me, you know, I was cool with them already. So I didn't judge them, you know what I'm saying? It was a great experience that I had to have with concerning that, because in times past, I didn't hang. Well, let me not lie. We did hang with people that were struggling like that, like my man dark skin Jermaine. But he was cool. We didn't give a damn about it. We love Jermaine to this day. I think he's no longer with us in the land of the living, if I'm not mistaken. But R.I.P. to Jermaine. We love Jermaine. And, but, you know, And we hung with some other dudes, you know what I mean, from the neighborhood, but they would just, you know, we would use them to get like weed, or they'll stop by and buy weed. But if they ever brought that crap up, boy, oh my God, dude. I remember one time they brought that up, man. We started throwing bottles at them. We're like, man, get the heck, you know what I mean? They saw who we really were at that time, man. And they drove off like scared for their life, because we was about to kill. Like, nigga, what? You want to what? You know what I mean? But anyway, they were kind of, back to the story, they were kind of struggling in that area. So, and, you know, letter A was kind of too. But at the same time, you know, I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about that. You know what I mean? I was like, I really loved them. You know what I mean? And I loved them. I loved hanging with them. It was cool. But boy, we used to have some fun. Like we would go places, different places and everything. And I remember, I think it was a lady from church or something told Will that he was going to be living the rest of his life out of a suitcase. You know what I mean? And that's what changed his life. And when that lady told him that, I think it was a couple years after that, he got this job as like a brand ambassador, to where he was traveling all over the country, bro, like doing promotions for this company and that company. And I remember, I'll never forget, man, back in 2008, man, he had me in New York City working at one of his events or whatever. And I told him, I said, I made so much money messing, you know, with him, and I had nothing but fun. That's what he was doing is what I wanted to do forever, for the rest of my life. I was like, yo, you on a gold mine, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. And I begged him to take me with him, because I was in Newburgh at that time, and I wanted to get the heck out, man. And for some reason, yeah, I don't blame him. I just think it was the Most High. Like, no, he must have something else for me. But I was highly upset when he was like, I can't take you with me. And it seemed like everybody else that was in our circle benefited off the fact that he was getting gigs like that, because even his girl at the time, the petite one, she started doing it, you know what I mean, and traveling abroad. And even letter A, who I was, you know, infatuated with, she started doing, you know, the brand ambassador and traveling and stuff like that. And I was like, dang, man, everybody is getting to go except me. Like, what's up? That's what being in one of them costs of being an Illuminator, man. You be having higher callings, but you be like, you don't be, man, I ain't want no, man, I wanted to go with them and, you know, and travel across the country. They was going to different places, Seattle, Colorado, New Mexico, everywhere, until eventually they started getting their passports and traveling abroad. I felt so left out, dude. I was like, oh, man, that's exactly what I wanted to do, man. And I think Will felt that, you know, even a couple years ago, he felt that, like, and he used to try to get me gigs and get me this and this and that. He got me one. Well, we did the tour and going around or whatever. In Florida, Tampa and all that, and Miami and Dallas. I made like 3,000, like 2 in a week, you know what I mean? And I said, well, man, I got to keep this going. But he tried to do it for me, but the doors kept slamming. That's when I knew. I was like, that's the Most High. But anyway, back to the original story. Well, this is part of it. They were able to travel abroad, man. So you know, they out of the country. They was going to different countries, man. Southeast Asia, his Latin countries and going over to Europe, Japan, and I'm like, this is supposed to be me, man. And I am stuck in Atlanta or stuck in freaking Newburgh, New York, man. I was like, man, I want to go, man. So, with that being said, they all benefited from that. But going back to that time period when we were all having fun and me having this, man, I was like extremely infatuated, man. It felt like love, but I wouldn't trade that feeling in for the world. And look, let me tell you something, man. You can't help who you like, who you love, and who you like. You can't help it. So what happened after that was we all close, we all hanging. She, you know, had feelings for my man's girl, you know what I'm saying? And they started kicking it, you know what I'm saying? And my little bro, he was doing his thing with other people, other dudes on the same team, you know what I mean? I'm not with none of that, but I didn't judge them, but I never condoned it, you know what I mean? I didn't judge them, but I never condoned it, and especially for me. Like, I never participated in anything like that, but I still love them, you know what I'm saying? And she basically started, you know, dealing with my man's girl, and they were close. We were all close anyway, so it made sense. So, you know, I felt dissed, you know, like I was like, man, damn, that's messed up, right? So I bumped into letter A sister, man, and I was very undeveloped at that time as a man. I would never do that again, do this what I did again, because it was unmanly and it wasn't good. It was, you know, but I didn't know how to deal with my emotions back then, so I reacted out of my emotions, and that's very effeminate. Very there's no excuse for that. And every time, and when I think about it, I was just like, man, I was severely wrong for that. Blame my head, but don't blame my heart, because I would never have done nothing like that. It was totally uncharacteristic what I did. But I revealed to letter A sister that she was, you know, having close encounters with, you know, my man's girl, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I don't know what made me do that, but I was wrong. But it was out of, you know, how I felt about her, man, because I really thought, you know, she was my reflection. You know what I mean? She was my reflection. She was my reflection. She was a female version of me. And when I did that, I was like, man, that was whack. You know what I mean? That's not something that I do. I never did nothing like that before. Never, nothing like that. So I was like, dang, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I think one time, you know what I mean, I might have had a shot, but I don't know. I just think that I did one time. She came through and chilled with me, but, you know, that was very uncharacteristic. I was undeveloped at that time. And I was foolish at that time for doing that. Just because that woman don't like you, don't mean you gotta go and ruin whatever she got going on with someone else, right? And especially revealing stuff like that to a family member. So, you know, I deeply apologize for that. Yet I am no longer that person. I'm truly renewed and developed and matured as a man now. I would never do that now. But I was devoid of understanding. I was void of understanding, and on how to channel my emotions, because I really loved it. I felt like I was in love with her. And hence is what I'm talking about now, and bring it up, fast forward to today. So I don't know, I think I just did a song. Yeah, this is how it went. I just did a song, like an anthem from my neighborhood, from where I'm from, right? And before I'll include it. From where I'm from, I did this song, and I sent it to a lot of people, and I sent it to her. You know what I mean? I haven't heard from her in years, or whatever. I mean, like probably like about 15 years. You know what I mean? Like it's been that long. It's been a long time. But she was like, it brought back memories, you know, to her, and she was like, and when I sent it to her, she listened to it, and then she didn't recognize my name because I have my name written in the Portuguese Hispanic language, because I'm projecting myself of traveling abroad, just like they are right now. So she reaches back and said, "Hey, good to see you." You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. I see you still fire with the flow, and boom, 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 and you know. You know, she catches me up to speed what she's doing, and you know what I mean, she's living abroad like I wanted to do, like I am gonna do, you know. Ain't no one to do, I am gonna do that. 2026, I'll be out of here, out of the country, everything. But I already had it planned on going anywhere. But she's already there, you know what I mean? So she she hit me and like, yo, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? And I'm living abroad and blah, blah, blah. You know, I see you still doing your music. I didn't recognize the name at first because it's spelled in a Hispanic name and stuff like that. So I had to actually go to your page. And when she went to my page, I posted an inspirational video of me in the hospital at the time, telling everybody that, oh, this ain't the end. You know, this is only the beginning, because, you know, I wanted to have that as a document of saying that you can overcome and come back, and God is real, you come back for anything. And she was like, you know, I had to go to your page, and when I went to your page, I saw that it was you, and then I saw that you was in the hospital, and, you know, prayed for my speedy recovery and things like that, man. But let me tell you, man, it was just such a wonderful feeling, man. You know what I mean? Just to hear from her, man, because all the memories that's tied to that person, you know what I'm saying? And it was, and blessings to her and what she's doing and traveling and all that, man. And but I was just excited. I was like, not excited, like, you know, but I was like, dang, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, boom, boom, boom. She's traveling and doing things, you know what I mean? That's the bomb. And besides, you know, this was a girl who I thought was, you know what I mean, supposed to be one of mine, you know. But anyway, so
power off.
When she you know, responded about me, and I responded back, and I was like, you know, it was good hearing from you, and no. Yeah, I changed my name because, you know, I plan on doing the same thing you doing. I'm so happy to hear from you. You know what I mean? I'm glad, you know, that, you know, I had a chance to, you know what I mean, that we met each other in times, but that, you know, you still here, living healthy, happy, you know what I mean? And that we're still here, you know what I mean? And then, you know, then I did this. I said, yeah, you know, nice seeing you, AKA her rap name. She had to change her rap name because her rap name was just letter A, but she changed it. And I think it's either a Japanese name or something, but it's dope, you know what I mean? So, and she was like, you know, and I sent her, because I do, this is true. This is true every other day, or even to this day, you know what I mean? I have her on my playlist, both of her songs on my playlist, you know what I mean? And one of them speaks about confidence, and the other one that speaks about, she did with this other dude, right? He's a big guy, but you know what I mean? She did a song with him, and I listened to these songs, right? every other day. They're on my playlist. And I sent her, her own video, talking about confidence, the other video what she did with the guy, boom, 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 the big guy. So I said, yeah, I'll listen to that, you know what I'm saying? So, keep doing your thing, I love you, keep going, you know what I mean? So she hits me back, saying, boom, boom, wow, I didn't think you, knew about, my rap name and me doing rap. And she was telling me about the big dude, and which I perceived anyway. She was telling me about the big dude that he was the best freestyler, and she liked his style and stuff like that, because what I perceived before she even said what I'm about to tell you, I said, she likes that dude because his style reminds her of me, of my style. You know what I mean? He reminds her of me. You know what I mean? So she did a song with him and everything, video and all that. So, I saw it. When I saw the video, I saw that. You know what I mean? When you're an Illuminator, nothing gets by you. Not too much, and nothing gets by you. So when I sent that to her, she responded to the videos. I sent her the video that she did with the dude and the video that she did about speaking about confidence. And she was like, yeah, that dude, she's talking about the dude. She's like, yeah, I like him. He reminds me of you. And he's one of my good friends to this day. And if y'all was to link up, I think y'all would be cool with one another. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah, I perceive that. And then she, said, and then, and she talked and messaged me. And then she got down to the wire and said, I never shared this with you, but she was heartbroken about what I did in times past by relaying some information about her and my little bro's girl, and she felt like she couldn't trust me, at that time. And it just took me back to that moment to where I did that, because I did feel sorry about doing that, not even knowing that how she felt about it, because it was uncharacteristic of me, you know what I mean, to do something like that, by exposing things like that, running, not knowing how to deal with my emotions at that time, you know what I mean. And it wasn't good, but she brought it up to me. She brought up to me that she was aware of it, because she never made me know that she was aware of it. And she said she never shared it with me, but then she said that. Now, when she said that, it just took me back and I went into the quantum leap, into a time portal, man, and went back and revisited the time and recalled it. And I was like, man, that was whack. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, dang, man. But the blessing part about it is, this is why, this is crazy story, because they be in the same possession of characteristics and qualities that you have. That's why you like them in the first place, because you see yourself in them. She said this. She said, but I forgive you for that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow. I was like, damn, man. Same thing I would do. You know what I mean? Same thing have done to people who've wronged me. And you reap what you sow, man. And if you sow forgiveness, you may reap it. And when you reap it, it's like, dang, man. And it came from her, the person I was infatuated with. So when she, when she said that and told me that, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, that's still resonant in her mind, but she's forgiven me. And thank her for forgiving me for that, because that wasn't me. And at the same time, I'm not that person anymore. I'm fully developed, transformed, renewed, replenished, refreshed as a man, and on top of that, a man of God. You know what I'm saying? So, I am a new creature in Christ. All things have been made new. Behold, all things have been made new. Old things have passed away. Yet, I appreciated the fact that she even let me know that. She let me know the infraction that I did. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do stuff, infractions have more lasting memory than when you do something great. Like, remember I told y'all I made a boat out of the letters of her name. But when you do an infraction, man, that's gonna remain. Or you transgress against somebody like that, that's gonna remain with them for a word called forever. But though they forgive you. So I appreciated that. Then I responded and told her that, explained to her that, yo, man, I realized at that moment, if I could take a leap in time and go back, I would have never do it. But at the same time, I was able to go back and feel it today, 20 years later, feel it as if it was yesterday. And then I said, look, some people that you meet in our lifetime, you know what I mean, that they will always have an impact on their life, be it be pleasant or painful, you know what I mean, and she's one of them, you know what I mean, because I have a pleasant, very heightened, memory of her, as she does with me, and but that was kind of painful that I did that. And not only that, the reason why I did it. Let me get into the reason why I did it. The reason why I did it is because I felt like she belonged to me. She might have looked at me different, but I didn't look at her like a sister or something like that. But she knew I didn't look at her like that. I don't know if she told me she didn't find me attractive like that, you know what I mean? But I didn't give a damn about that, at that time. Because I was like, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm always like that. But, when she disclosed that to me and said she never shared it with me, that she knew and that she forgive me, I was like, yeah, this is why I did it, though. You know what I mean? And no excuses, though. I put that disclaimer. There's no excuse for that, because that was not who I am. That's not who I am. Really, it's not who I was then. You know what I mean? But anyway, but I let her know that, I appreciate you for forgiving me. You know what I mean? You're in possession of a very virtuous quality called forgiveness. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you for that. And I always love you for that. You know what I mean? And, I just dug it. You know what I mean? But me telling her why, I felt like now I can explain to you or reveal to you or illuminate you on the situation of why I did that. So hopefully that could, alleviate and remove, that infraction from you for a word called forever. You know what I'm saying? So back then, when it occurred with her, the reason why I did it, because I felt like she belonged to me. She ain't belong to, you know what I mean? And that was whack. But I remember, like, when you going through stuff, like emotions, this is one of the ways I channeled it. But I never put the song out. But I will, but nobody would know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it was very important. And I remember I was telling my man, and he had first, this is important, so it's going to take a little bit. he had first shown me how to play poker. I had just learned the game. He had just taught me a couple of days prior. I then was going through it, that feeling of being kind of like rejected because of that situation with her and my man's girl. I wrote a song about it because that's how it was therapy for me. Music was therapy for me. Hence is the song that I played y'all in the beginning of this video. And I put it together. Now remember, he taught me poker, you know what I'm saying? And the song that I played for you, the instrumental I just played was Slum Village. I'm calling out to all my lady. It was selfish. It was called Selfish. You know what I mean? I was like, and I felt like that's the emotion that I was operating out of, being selfish. You know what I mean? It didn't care about her feelings, you know what I mean, by revealing that to her sister. That was selfish and jealousy, you know, whatever. But it was me, selfish. So, but I just learned poker, and part of the course is I'm calling. So when you're playing poker, you know, when they, you know what I mean, if there's somebody, you feel like somebody's bluffing or whatever, you call their bluff, or you say, I call, you know. And, you know, if they put a bet out there, you say, well, I call the bet and match the bet. So dealing with that situation, I put a song together. And when I let Itnam hear it, he went berserk because he loves poker, man. Like, I love poker too. But so this is how it go. I'm going to just say the words for you and then I'm going to play it. It says, no doubt, I'm a poker player. Pull my file. Have feelings for a girl who's gay, but she's in denial. A suited 10-jack queen that hit the flop. I raised and she re-raised to get the pot. I'm like, why she ain't feeling me? I asked my man who helped me decipher what she has in her hand. I'm the one with the nuts, and I can't fail. The way she act around this girl, we call that a tell. She tried to bluff with pocket queens by switching the facts. I got the ace king suited and crippled her stack. See, my man is my ace and I'm the king. You supposed to be my wife, but your wife is the queen. Now she's on tilt, dog, you right. I won the prize. And even though I won the hand, it made me realize that it just ain't in the cards for me and you. 'Cause you'll never find a queen same suited as you. I'm calling. Bars. I just learned the game of poker. Oh my God. And I put it to that beat. I'll play it on the way out. I'll play it on the way out. Hold up. Hold up.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
I'll play it on the way out. So, when I responded to her and told her why I did what I did, I wanted to alleviate that transgression and that infraction that I did to her by me being selfish. I was dead wrong for that. Yet at the same time, I was never that person, number one, but I'm way more developed from that person, you know, that done that at that time. And hence why I call this Illuminator Izm. Now we're going to add the ism to it. Let me illuminate your brain with some of this incredible and glorious game once again, man. Let me interior decorate your brain. Here's the ism, the game, the knowledge, the uncommon information dealing with that particular situation. Listen, man, this is revealed to me just hour, like 36, about 24 hours ago on its articulation, but I've known it for the past, when did Johnny Dollar come out with that? For the past about 4 or 5 years, right? I think it was like 2020 or something like that. Here's the ism on that. Now, remember, I told y'all, I was infatuated with her, man. You can't help who you like. You can't help it. But here's the reason why you like them. You know why you like them? Because you like something that you see in them, in yourself. You have to remember that. Always remember. The reason why you like them, because you detect or you perceive something within themselves, and that person that you are already in possession of within you and yourself. So therefore you love thyself and you're looking for yourself. That's number one. And we're going along with number one is this. This is very imperative for men. So you don't do that unmanly crap that I did when you have this ism, this game on dealing with that situation. Let me tell you something, man. There is a thing called law of attraction. Remember, she told me that she was not attracted to me. I ain't care nothing about that because, they're going to be attracted to you. They might not be attracted to your physique or your you know what I mean, what you look like and stuff like that, or your aesthetics. But there's something about your spirit that they are attracted to that, keeps them hanging around you. You know what I mean? Because they have the similar traits within them. But at the same time, there's a thing called law of attraction, right? You attract what you are. But within that law, which I've learned within this past 48 hours, is how to articulate this level of it. Within the law of attraction, there is a law governs relationship between men and women. And let me give you what Sinful the P, God, may God rest his soul, gave to me. He said that, women are the gift of God, but the gift of God are not equivalent to the recipient of the gift, which is the man. Me, I put it like this. Women are indeed the gift of God, but the gift of God is not equivalent to the recipient of the gift, which is the image of God, who is the man. With that being said, this is part of the law of attraction. If you, being a man, is attracted to that girl more than she's attracted to you, that's backwards. You're out of order. And that's against the law for men. That's ism. That's the ism part of this message. This is the Illuminator Izm. You liking that girl more than she likes you. She might even find you attractive, even though she might not find you physically, but it's not reciprocated at the more intensity, it being more intense than yours is for her. You're backwards. You're backwards. And remember, I told you, you can't help who you like, but you have to recalibrate it with that understanding. Because that's the law of attraction. as a man, this is only for men, not them, because they're supposed to like you more than you like them. Why? You was made first, nigga. And your admiration, infatuation can go to them, but not greater than it goes to God. God. And God dwells within here. Greater is he that is within you than he that's in the world. And this got to be developed within you. You got to have that greater love for yourself. And she has to be more into you than you are into her. Because you are more into God and yourself more than you are into her. That's divine order. If it's the other way around, you get ready to get played like a sucker. That's the ism. That's the Illuminator Izm. That I'm lacing your brain with this Illuminator game once again, man. Don't ever forget that. That's how that's why I expressed to her that I'm renewed and developed and more developed than I was at that time as a man. Because that was not a manly act. That was a little boy, selfish, effeminate, if you ask me, act. And I just appreciate her for forgiving me. You know what I'm saying? But always remember, she must like you. You like who likes you. If you like a girl more than she likes you, though she might like you, but you like her more, she ain't for you. Unless some phenomena happens to where she really do start liking you more than you like her. Because when you change as energy, you know, polarity may shift in your favor. Because you have to like the girl. The girl that, listen, this is what I came up with. And I'm going to close with this. The girl that you like is not like the girl that likes you. Why? Because the girl that likes you will fight for you. The girl that you like will fight you. Why? Because the girl that you like is not like the girl that likes you. Always remember, man, that's an illumination game for your brain right there, baby. That's $1 billion worth of game. A lot of individuals are and men especially, are in relationships, and that dynamic is backwards. He is more into that girl's breasts, into her boobs, her booty, her appearance, which also, Sinful to Peace said, we don't allow the appearance to be the interference from us seeing the truth. Pretty is as pretty does. You know what I'm saying? It's not her beauty, it's her duty. You know what I'm saying? And we don't put hands on hoes, we put plans on hoes. You know, all this ism, it's real and it has real virtue in it. So yeah, that's the that's the game that's going to interior decorate and illuminate your that's the game that's going to illuminate your brain. One more game, man. And with that being said, you know what I'm saying? As usual, I'm going to close with this. Y'all have a blast past, a while now and a greater later. Live the life of your design so you can have a good time for a lifetime. And better yet, live the life of his design so your life will be divine for the rest of your lifetime. And we'll close with this, with my jam. And to letter A, I love you. Blessings to you. I'm so glad and happy to hear from you. And I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? And I just want y'all all to benefit from the law of attraction and law of this game. And take it with you. And we'll close out with this. Play that one more again. Falling out to all my poker player, pull my foul, have feelings for a girl who's gay, but she in denial. A suited 10 jack queen, the hit the flop. I raise and she be raised to get the pot. I'm like, why she feeling me? I asked my man who helped me decipher what she has in her hand. Yo, I'm the one with the nuts, and I can't fail the way she act around this girl. We call that a tell. She tried to bluff with pocket queen by switching the facts. I had the ace king suited and crippled the stack. See, my man is my ace, and I'm the king. You supposed to be my wife, but your wife is the queen. Now she on tilt, dog, you right. I won the prize, and even though I won the hand, it made me realize that it just ain't in the cards for me and you, cause you'll never find a queen same suited as you. I'm calling, I'll do all my, you're my ladies, and I can't let you with no one but me, baby. Love y'all, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. If this has been a blessing to you, man, y'all, get in the comment section, man, and let me know, what I mean, if y'all had similar situations, man. And, I love y'all. See y'all in the next video, man. Y'all keep this Illuminated game laced in your brain for forever, man. Love y'all. Peace.